So this is the first cut, and thank you very much to the writer, and I apologize for butchering it with my personal additions.
Everybody recording?
It was summer 1999, and as the millennium drew its final breath, I set sights on my first love. Love, in this context, to be read as egotistical pleasure, a response triggered by flattery. Let's call him Peter. Peter played basketball and the banjo. He was multi-talented in alliterative areas. He was perfect. It all happened at summer camp for nerds and me in Maine's cosmopolitan capital, the USM campus in Gorham. I found myself away from home for 3 heavily supervised but nonetheless glorious weeks. Exotic delights lay around every corner of the summer vacant campus. There were coffee machines. There were goths. There was Peter. Having spent my teenhood thus far in an all-girls school, I set proper decorum aside and seized my chance to get my foot in the relationship ladder. I sent word to Peter with a messenger. Minutes later, she brought back news. He would have to think about it. A thinker. It's deep. It's romantic, and it's fucking irritating. Oh well, tomorrow would tell. Until it did, it was a yes. Our first romantic meeting was awkward, as one would imagine. A lot of mumbling and fumbling and nervous glances. We took a stroll around the sports field, swapping anecdotes and stopping intermittently to scam, as we quaint New England hick kids called kissing back then. Afterwards, we played table tennis, not a colloquial euphemism. Let it be known that I have terrible hand-eye coordination, and sporty dates are not my forte. Despite my dexterous failings, as the days progressed, our bond grew stronger. We ignored our other summer camp chums in favor of making the most of our tragically small window of romance. Secret Smile by Semisonic became our anthem. The third-floor common room became our love den. On the second day, he gave me a card with a poetic inscription inside. It read, "Dear Sarah, you're so nice. And you're a dime." It was Yeats. It was Byron. It was the most beautiful thing anyone had ever written about me. For 3 wondrous days, we basked in the heady excitement of our first relationship. And as we slow danced, shuffled awkwardly, at the final disco in the dance hall library, we knew our dog days were drawing to a close. And all too soon, we found ourselves standing at the front gates of my mom's Volvo, waiting to whisk me back to mundanity, back to the endemic chastity of Catholic school. Fighting tears, he took off his silver-coated chain and put it around my neck. We pledged to call and write frequent letters, and then it was goodbye, watching Peter shrink ever smaller from the back window of the Volvo. I clung to my love trinket, the tacky chain he had gifted me, and sobbed. Peter, you see, was from Buxton. So far away we were forced to face the likelihood of never seeing each other again. True to his word, Peter called weekly, and so did I. On the house phone, of course. These were the days before mobile phones, and gas before the internet arrived with its time and space devouring abilities. So we wrote letters. Mine were infused with the scent of my noxious raspberry perfume, his with the refined masculine aroma of Tommy Hilfiger sport. I missed Peter with the burning passion of a smitten 14-year-old. I taped Secret Smile on the radio, playing and rewinding it over and over, reliving every magical moment and pining for more. 3 months passed, but I remained inconsolable in a misguided attempt to cheer me up, either that or to celebrate my friend Monica's birthday. My girls and I went to Funtown, USA, a real place. While my friend waited in line for Excalibur, I took the opportunity to call Peter. I made the decadent long-distance phone call from the 10-pound cell phone my mother had loaned me that day. He didn't sound like his usual self. He seemed in a hurry to go, like he didn't want to speak to me. I couldn't use the phone for long in any case, and I was left dejected. What was wrong? I shrugged it off. I bought a pencil in the shape of a non-copyright specific mouse. On my return home, I was disappointed to find no new pastel-colored envelopes. It was Peter's turn to respond. And when it came time for him to call on Tuesday at 7 p.m., nothing. Not a single ring to be heard in the checkered hallway of rejection. It soon came to life that I had been dumped while in Funtown, USA. Cast aside by mere inaction. How easy it was to sever connections in those days. "There's plenty of fish in the sea," offered my mother. She didn't understand. How could she? She'd never met perfectly pinnacle Peter. True love, I told her with with tears streaming down my face, was a rare and cruel thing in this world, and she was clearly not one of we blessed few to have known it. It was a tragedy. I was crushed. Secret Smile became a dirge, a funeral march, a mocking melody of misery. I opted instead for a new anthem, Radiohead's Exit Music. And I spent perhaps double the length of Peter and my pen pal relationship mourning the loss of my faraway love. Love, in this context, to be read as an egotistical pleasure response triggered by flattery. Of course, my heart healed over time, and the ache of rejection is now long gone. All I have left is that first romance. All I have left of that first romance are a pile of faintly stinky letters, a Pavlovian association between Mickey Mouse knockoffs and heartbreak, and a decent chuckle about it every now and then.